We're good? Perfect. Thank you. All right, we set. What are you missing?
Just my mic sock.
Oh,
That's all right.
can't be too far. It still works for all. That's okay.
Yours too, Doug?
Seems to be a trend. Seems to be a trend. I'll take Daniels.
Still dance?
Yeah, there you go. That works. No.
Good idea.
Maybe somebody uses it
I'm afraid to use it, but I'll do it.
It's okay.
I'll never know.
All right, we're all good?
Sorry.
Okay, that's okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the regular scheduled Tabortown Council meeting for December 15th, 2025. Just for the record, Councilor Remford is not able to be in attendance for today's meeting. We do first off have a subdivision authority meeting, so we'll call that meeting in order. Ask for adoption of that agenda, please. Councilor Sparks?
Make that motion, Mayor Prokop, that we adopt the agenda as presented.
Motion on the table. All in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Item 3, item 3.1, minutes of regular meeting of subdivision authority, November 10th, 2025. Mr. Tebow?
Administration has no adjustments to the minutes. Back over to council.
Right. Any questions, concerns? I'm prepared to make that motion. Councilor Sorensen?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to make the motion that the subdivision authority adopts the minutes of the regular meeting of the subdivision authority held on November 10th, 2025 as presented.
Thank you. Motion on the table. All in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you. On to item number 4, subdivision applications. Item 4.1, subdivision TT 25-0-010, Southwest 61016, west of the 4th. Mr. Tebow?
We'll have Miss Hillary Jatson come forward and provide council the information on this one.
All right. Ms. Jensen, welcome.
Thank you, Council, acting as the subdivision authority. Today I'm bringing forward to you an application that was received, deemed complete on November the 17th. It's to subdivide out a just over 4-acre parcel out of the Southwest 61016 west of the 4th. That's a larger 57.62 acre parcel. The proposed subdivision area is zoned residential, single, and 2 dwellings, so that's the R2 district. The subdivision includes 21 lots, 20 of which will be the standard size lots, and then there's one larger lot that would be potentially subdivided in the future. Water and sewer services are already in place along 56th Avenue, but shallow utilities would need to be installed as part of this if it was successful. Accessing the parcels is already in place via 56th Avenue and a portion of 43rd Street along with those rear laneways that have been previously constructed. The municipal reserve portion for this subdivision would be deferred to the remainder of the parcel so that it could be taken at a later date. So in situations like this where we have a larger plan in place and there's park and green space that's going to be part of that bigger plan, and there's no green space required for this particular portion of that area, we defer it to the future stages of subdivision. So that's what I'm proposing to do for this particular application. This application, the package was reviewed and circulated to internal and external stakeholders, and I have included the external comments in your agenda package. There was no comments that were of concern with regards to the application. The most notable would be the SMRD did point out that there's their right-of-way that's directly to the west of the subdivision, but not in the subdivision, and they just wanted to make sure that nothing was going to impact their pipeline that's within that right-of-way. All other comments were pretty standard in terms of utilities and that. So as this proposed subdivision is within the Northwest Area Structure Plan, notices were not required to be sent out to adjacent landowners as per section 653 of the Municipal Government Act. So this was, sometimes you'll see that in other subdivisions, they're advertised. That's because they're not within an area structure plan and they have to be advertised. If a process like a public hearing has occurred for an area structure plan, we're not required to send out those notices because it's already gone through that public process. So with that, I have made a recommendation to you as per the guidance of the Municipal Planning Commission, who did review this application also last week at the Municipal Planning Commission meeting. So I have recommended approval of the subdivision application as per the reserve requirements, and there are, sorry, let me just get down here, 7 conditions that I've added onto there, with the reasons that this particular subdivision is consistent with the South Saskatchewan Regional Plan and the Northwest Area Structure Plan. That the subdivision authority is satisfied that the subdivision is suitable for the purpose to which it is intended for, as per Section 9 of the Matters Related to Subdivision Development Regulation, and that the subdivision authority has determined that the subdivision is in accordance with the subdivision criteria for the R2 district which it's within. With that, I will turn it back to you, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you for that report. Anything arising? Any questions whatsoever? All right, someone prepared to make that motion? Councilor Sparks?
Yes, Mayor Prokop, I'll make the motion that the subdivision authority approves subdivision TT 25-0-010, part of Southwest Quarter, 610-16 west of the 4th, with their certificate of title number 211025913+53, with the reserve and conditions as listed.
Right, thank you. Motion on the table? All in favor? Carried unanimously, thank you. And just ask for motion, thank you. Ask for motion to close the meeting, please. Councilor Firth, motion on the table. All in favor? Carried unanimously, thank you. I will officially call the regular scheduled Taber Town Council meeting to order and ask for the adoption of that agenda, please. Councilor Sorensen?
Thank you. I'd like to approve the agenda as presented.
Thank you. Motion on the table. All in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Item 4, adoption of minutes. Item 4.1, minutes of regular meeting of council November 24th, 2025. Mr. Thibault.
Administration has no adjustments to the minutes. Back over to the council.
All right. Thank you. Anything arising? So prepared to make that motion. Councilor Firth.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that council adopts the minutes of the regular meeting of council held on November 24th, 2025 as presented.
Thank you. Motion on the table. All in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Item 5, business arising. There are none. Item 6, bylaws. Item 6.1, draft emergency management bylaw 22-225. Mr. Thibault.
Mr. Chief Munchall will come forward and explain this one to you. I believe we had all new members are on our emergency management committee this time around, so he may draw upon you just so that you're aware.
Chief Munchall, welcome.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I really enjoy bringing these things forward. It's the new bylaw, and what we have to do is we have to make changes because the Emergency Management Act changes. And in our actual old bylaw, these had to be reflected and adjusted so that we were basically in law for our community and working within the Act. As you can see, there's been 9 amendments changes that we've worked through, and the Emergency Management Committee has went through these in depth as we walk through them all. I'm here to answer any questions, and if the Emergency Management Committee would like to go through any of the questions, I'm open for that as well.
All right, thank you. Any questions arising? None whatsoever. Chief, pretty easy day.
Pretty easy day.
Councilor Sorensen.
I'll get the ball rolling. Thank you for your time and the committee's time in going over this bylaw. I'd like to make the motion that council gives first reading to the emergency management bylaw 22-2025 at this meeting.
Thank you. Motion on the table. All in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you. And the second required motion, Councilor Firth.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that council gives second reading to emergency management bylaw 22-2025 at this meeting.
Thank you. Motion on the table. All in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you. And the third required motion, Councilor Adamczyk.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. I move that council unanimously agrees to proceed to the third and final reading to emergency management bylaw 22-2025 at this meeting.
Thank you. Motion on the table. All in favor? Carried unanimously. And the fourth required motion? Counselor Firth?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that council gives third and final reading to Emergency Management Bylaw 22-2025 at this meeting.
Thank you. Motion on the table. All in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you. On to item 6.2, 2026 fee bylaw. Mr. Thibault.
We'll have Mr. Rob Osmond come forward and walk through the fee bylaw. This is a larger one, and we have, I believe, representation from almost every area, should there be any questions. So over to Rob and council.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Osmond, welcome.
Thank you very much, Council. So with the help of the entire organization, we've put together the 2026 fee bylaw. I did provide a bit of a summary of changes in the RFD. The one that I will speak to right off the top has to do with the utility fees. So there were some adjustments to water meter fees, just updating them to the current cost of water meters that we bring into our inventory. The rest of the utility rates, water, sewer, garbage, recycling, as well as the storm, have all been held the same. So these rates, when we go into our review, we were able to establish that, as council might remember, I spoke about previously, that we had begun in 2023 a 5-year plan to bring the utilities into self-sufficiency from the taxation. We have achieved that mark early, and so there is no need at this point for additional fee increases in the utilities. There will be some additional discussion as we move into the operating budget with how we'll discuss reserve transfers and some other elements of the utilities and how they function. But in terms of the rate setting, the rates that we currently have on the books do have the utilities operating independent from taxes and don't require any increase this year. So with the help of all the people sitting behind me, I'd be happy to answer any questions council has about the rates.
All right. Thank you. Any questions arising whatsoever? Councillor Wiebe.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have a couple questions. One is on page 7 of 34. The bronze medallion fee assistance, it seems to be a little higher than some of the other fee assistant programs. I'm wondering if you can specify why that is for me. It just seems out of line with those other fee assistant options.
I don't have the answer for that one.
Just going through it, it looks like most of the other fee assistant ones, they're half the cost, and that one is higher, so.
Okay. Brian had shared that we're not sure why that number is that way. It could potentially be a typo, so we'll have to review that and
Thank you.
come back to council if there needs to be a review.
Councillor Firth.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I also had a question. Oh, sorry, Councillor Wiebe, did you have another question? Okay. About the summer splash pass. Can you tell me what that is exactly? And then also the pass hold administration fee. It says that that we're proposing a fee, but the comment is over top of the amount, so I just couldn't see how much that was. Sorry, the splash pass is on page 4, and the pass hold is on page 6.
I can certainly get that number uncovered for you. the number under that comment bubble is $25.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The splash pass is just for the summer. It's for a set of days. So between July 1st and August 31st or something like that. I think it varies. Well, no, it would vary, but it's for those summer holidays times.
All right, thank you. Counselor Sorensen?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And I just have a question in regards to building permits and why it was struck from the fee bylaw.
I can certainly answer that through the chair to Councillor Sorensen. So when I was looking through the fee bylaw, typically because the safety codes or the building permit fees are through a third party and are paid directly to that third party, and then we have a reimbursement agreement between us. It's not required that we have it within our bylaw because it's in a third party contract already. So that's why I removed it. That's also in case we do, if we renew or we have a new contract, that we would have an agreement with in that contract, and so it wouldn't be in our fee bylaw. So that's the reason I took it out.
All right, thank you. Counselor Wiebe?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. For my clarification, on page 6 of 34, are the family 1, 3, and 6 month and the 10 use passes for a limited number of family members, or are they, because I see that on one of the other ones it lists that it's for 2 adults and 3 youth or 3 students? I don't remember the wording. Is that the same for those passes?
Yes, it would be that same scenario where it's 2 adults, 3 children. And then we did add the extra fees for the extra children because we're finding a lot of families have more than 3 children around here. So I think it's a $3.25 charge extra for the extra family member.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Counselor Firth?
Brian, don't sit down yet. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through to Mr. Martin. I noticed that we are proposing adding a picnic shelter fee per hour. Is that only to reserve the picnic shelter?
Yes. Through the rec board, it was discussed at our last meeting that the rec board would like to see a fee charged to reserve the new picnic shelter. And so we looked at what Lethbridge is charging. I think they charge $37 or $42 an hour. So we don't have electricity, so we went with the $25 an hour fee. And we still have to work with figuring out how we're going to lock it off or whatever the case may be, how we're going to reserve it. But that was just at the last rec board that it was requested.
Okay. So, for example, if a family came to one of our parks and wanted to use one of the picnic shelters and it's not in use, they don't need to pay a $25 fee for that. They're just welcome to use it. Okay.
I believe that was the idea behind it.
Okay.
It was just going to be a first come, first serve. Unless you really wanted a defined time, then you would reserve it.
And that fee would be attached.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Counselor Wiebe?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. What do temporary licenses include for the business licenses? I'm particularly interested regarding youth entrepreneurship, like a lemonade stand or anything like that. Do they have to get a temporary license for something like that? I've had a couple questions regarding that.
I can answer that one for you. So the temporary license would be like a 1 day, a 1 week, a 1 month license. Typically for youth, if they are under 18 and running it for the summer months, we don't require them to get a license. Typically, that's all we've had apply that are under 18.
All right, thank you. Any other questions arising? Counselor Wiebe?
Sorry, I have one more. On page 19 of 34, my understanding is that FOIP no longer exists and has been replaced by the Access to Information Act and Protection Privacy Act. So should that wording perhaps be amended, or is it, what would your recommendation be? Is it okay as it is?
Yeah, I believe we can change that to privacy legislation, or is it POPA?
Yes, that should be adjusted. That must have been an oversight in there, but yeah, they should be adjusted to the new acronym.
Yeah, Mr. Tebow, yeah, that's got that covered. Okay, thank you. Councillor Sorensen?
I'd just be prepared to make the first motion.
Very well.
That council gives first reading to fee bylaw 23-2025 as presented.
Thank you. Motion on the table. All in favor? Carried unanimously. Second required motion. Councillor Atnock.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. I move that council give second reading to the fee bylaw 23-2025 as amended.
Thank you. Motion on the table.
Did I read the wrong one?
What did you say?
I'll reread that one.
Try that again. Okay. So or
Which one?
Councillor Sparks, you have a question also? Just to clarify. Councillor Sparks.
Just a point of order. With some of the questions that have been brought up, it's hard to adopt this fee bylaw as presented because some changes need to be made with some of the points that have been brought up at this meeting. And so I find it, instead of being shy, I should have just put my hand up in the first place, because we can't really pass this bylaw until those changes have been made and this bylaw is brought back to council.
All right. Councillor Sparks, I think that's actually very accurate. And Mr. Tebow?
I don't disagree, Councillor Sparks. We are bringing the fee bylaw back in the operating adjustments, in the operating model. I don't know if there was anything that I heard that we couldn't adjust for the next time we bring the fee bylaw forward. If we don't pass this fee bylaw, we've kind of put ourselves in a spot because they do have to become effective January. Otherwise, we use the previous fee bylaw, and that's not the end of the world. I'm just providing the information that we will have to use, because it's our last council meeting of this year, we have to use the existing fee bylaw for 2026, which we can do if that's what council decides. But just to let you know, we could go through this, and we know other adjustments are coming in early 2026 with the operating budget, but I'll leave that back to council.
All right. Thank you, Councillor Sparks.
Yes, and through to Mayor Prokop, I don't have a problem passing this. It's just that maybe the wording needs to be changed slightly, because there are some changes that need to be made, and I guess we could pass it as amended or something. I'm not sure, because it needs to represent that there are changes that need to be made as questions arise into this bylaw.
Councillor Atnock.
Yeah, I apologize with that. That's not, because one of the recommendation was as amended as we were amending things. So, but maybe we need to make those amendments first. But I don't know the proper procedure on that.
Yeah, no, I would believe that's very accurate, as I said. And so you did start with a motion. So if you're not wishing to go forward, just withdraw that if you like. If you like, you don't have to. But. Councillor Firth.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor. I think it would be appropriate, like Councillor Antonek's motion was to give second reading as amended. I think that's appropriate because that's what we're asking right there. It's minor amendments, so I don't know that it needs to come back entirely. I think the spirit of the bylaw is captured. There was just some small little tweaks. So I think as long as we pass it as amended and administration is clear about what those amendments need to be, then I'd be comfortable passing it as amended.
All right, thank you. I guess like we have brought that up via record as far as what those amendments are. So everybody's good with that then? Overall, we're good? Okay. All right. The motion is on the table then, as amended. All in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you. And the third required motion. Councillor Firth.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that council gives unanimous consent for third reading of fee bylaw 23-2025 as amended.
I believe that's
Yeah.
correct. Motion on the table. All in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you. And the fourth required motion, Councillor Sorensen.
Just point of order, because my motion, I believe, I made as presented. So I just wanted to
I see. Yeah,
clarify
okay.
that
Yeah,
before
right.
we do all of this and then find out.
Yes, that is acceptable, Councillor Sorensen. That's okay that the first one was as presented,
Okay.
and then we do as amended.
So I'd be prepared to make the fourth
Okay,
motion.
very well.
That council gives third reading to fee bylaw 23-2025 as amended.
Motion on the table. All in favor? Carry unanimously. Thank you. On to action items, item 7.1, recognition of service of past council members. Mr. Tebow.
Okay, so as we have done in the past, and I was only here for one of those in the past, we have new council members here and council members that have moved on. We do have a previous council member in our midst this evening or this afternoon, and it would be great, Mr. Mayor, if you could come down and we could present the award for Mr. Beckering.
Great, thank you.
Do you want a Coke? Do you want a Coke? Are you taking a picture? I don't want to be in it.
All right. Mr. Gareth Beckering, for your 20 years of esteemed service, it's our pleasure, my pleasure, and council's pleasure to present this award to you for your esteemed 20 years of service, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. You're used to this, Councilor Beckering. Smile like you mean it. There we go.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, we can go down to 7.2. There is no motion required on this one, Mr. Mayor, so we can go to 7.2 and present that.
Well, we got Garth standing here, so if you don't mind, also, our town of Taber behalf, Taber Town Council behalf, for once again, your esteemed 20 years of service. Thank you so much, sir, for your service, as always, your friendship and your mentorship.
Thank you. Thank you. Merry Christmas, everybody. Procedurally, you guys were correct when you did.
Appreciate your input, sir.
Bye.
All right, back to item 7.2, recognition of long-term service for elected officials. Mr. Tebow?
So there is no motion required for that one either, Mr. Mayor, and so we can move on to the next item. He presented both of the gift and the certificate.
Yes, correct.
Oh, right, sorry, but we do have additional certificates, sorry, for the long service awards.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, you can come forward again, please.
Award to Andrew Prokop for his many, many years of service as a counselor to the town of Taber and a mayor, and we appreciate your time and effort.
Councilor Carly Firth, thank you for your esteemed 8 years of service with the town of Taber, Taber Town Council. Thank you so much for your many efforts. Congratulations. Thank you. And Councilor Joanne Sorensen. right, no motion required for that. All right, thank you so much, everyone. On to item 7.3, elected officials benefits conversation. Mr. Tebow.
I believe we have Ms. Grace Noble that's going to come forward and speak to the benefits package. This is something that's new for this council. It certainly isn't new across municipalities, but it is new for this municipality. So I'll hand it over to Grace.
All right, thank you. Grace, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council.
Good afternoon.
So yeah, we just have an RFD before you talking about benefits for elected officials. So we did reach out to our provider to get a quote, and he provided us with a range of different coverage options. So those are kind of before you today. And I'm here to answer any questions you may have. So I'm available, and if I can't answer it, I'll figure it out for you. Okay.
All right, thank you, Grace. Any questions arising? Thank you. Councillor Sorensen.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you for Grace for looking into this. I can't figure out the numbers, so if you could just explain that to me. You gave us some approximate costs, elected officials portion, and then the town of Tabor portion. But the approximately 3,000, for example, the first one, $3,101 monthly. If you could just break that out as to what the elected officials cost would be, and then the town of Tabor.
Oh, for like in example number, like that 70% and 30%?
Yeah, like what does the 3,100 mean?
So that is the elected official's amount. So the elected official would be paying that premium, and the town of Tabor would be paying $13.29 for that month.
Okay.
So in this example, I'm taking it off of alternative number 1. So that premium, like, are you asking like what it's covering?
No, because like our salary isn't that.
Yeah.
So like it just, the numbers don't make sense to me as to like why we would do this then.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it is an expensive endeavor if you're going for the full benefit package.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Councillor Firth.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, through to Ms. Noble. But that 3,101, is that the total cost for all of council, or is that the cost for one individual?
That is the total cost for all of council.
Okay.
And that is based off of 6 family plans and 1 single.
Okay.
So that could be subject to change depending on what you're looking for.
Yeah, because that also confused me. I was like, I don't know why. Because it is, as Councillor Sorensen said, more than our monthly salary would be. So it doesn't really make sense. But that was only for, the examples that were given are only for alternative 1, is that correct? And then like for alternative 2 or 3 or 4, the cost would increase based on the added benefits.
Correct.
Okay.
I didn't math out all of the options. So I went with the base and then.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to clarify.
All right, thank you. Any other questions arising? I'm just wondering, Mr. Tebow, this is a fair bit to digest here. I don't know, I know some clarifications help today as well, but if that's something that we should maybe look at into the new year as an option there. Councillor Weep?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Do you know what the standard is for other municipalities, if it's fairly similar or?
It's kind of, it depends on the municipality, and maybe I'll let Darren answer the rest of that. Yeah.
So there is no real standard, but other municipalities that I've been in have been up to a 50-50 split. So it's not uncommon, and you shouldn't feel bad about the employer paying for a portion of your benefits. That's what happens with every other employee in town. So what we were putting forward, and they weren't individualized because we actually don't know what you would want for an individual cost. But if you were to take, the first example, the 70-30 split, or I'm talking about the 50-50 split, so I don't even know if that's an option up there. I see Oh, there it is, yes, 50/50. So you would take 2,215 and divide that by 7, basically, and that would be what the cost would be at a 50/50 split per member if you were to take the family plan kind of deal. But it is not uncommon for an employer to pay a portion of the benefits. Whatever portion this council would like to land on is kind of what we're trying to surmise.
Yeah, no, thank you, Mr. Tebow, and thank you, Grace, also for looking into this. It's a great option to have, and hasn't been on the table for some time. And but I don't know. Like I said, there's a fair share here, and fair share to discuss. To me, it's a little difficult to make a decision right this minute. But and looking at it when I read it initially, I wasn't completely understand. So great that you've clarified this here. But I'm not sure what other council members' take on that is at this stage, Councillor Sorensen.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And I think that, it's going to be case by case and based on individuals, families, already circumstances. But here at the table, I guess we could provide an option, and then individually you could choose what you wanted to do. And so that's what I would put forward, is us deciding on something, and then individually you could go back and see if it suits your needs.
All right, thank you, Councillor Firth.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through to administration. What is the cost share split for employees of the town of Taber?
So for the employees, it's a 90-10 split. So the employer pays 90% and the employee pays 10% of the premiums.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Sorry, and
Go
I just
ahead.
had a second question.
Yep.
And if we chose to move forward with this, is there the ability for somebody to opt out if, say, they didn't need coverage or they weren't interested in it?
Yes, so there is if you can prove that you have existing coverage elsewhere, you have the opportunity to opt out of, not all, but some of the benefits. So like health and dental, vision care, and then the accidental life and dismemberment. So there'd be some options there as well that you could opt out of. The employee assistance program, if council chooses to move forward with that option, everyone gets it, and there is no opt-out feature that I'm aware of for that one.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Mr. Tebow.
I just wanted to reiterate what Councillor Sorensen had said. We're really trying to see if we can figure out what council believes is a fair split between the employer and the employee. There will need to be individual discussions those numbers don't pertain to any of that, right? So it will be different for each one of you, which is why we just couldn't even try and get all those different scenarios up there. But we're really looking to see what council's comfortable with, if they want benefits at all, and if they do, what that split might look like. But to get down to the individual numbers, there will need to be an individual conversation with HR to see what suits each one of your needs and to what level.
All right, thank you, Councillor Sorensen.
Thank you. I just have a question in regards to dental. Sometimes there's a hold or a waiting period. Would that be the case if we were to join this program?
So no, you would have coverage immediately upon adoption of the plan. And the plan, the soonest that it can come into effect, as per our provider, would be March 1st, but we would have the ability to backdate any claims to January 1st of 2026. So that's the earliest we can actually start, but there is no waiting period as long as enrollment is immediate. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Councillor Firth.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you, Mr. Tebow. I'm going to propose a 50-50 split, just so we can move things forward. Unless anybody has anything else they'd like to ask or anything they'd like to discuss, but I'm prepared to make a motion.
All right, Councillor Wiebe.
Thank you. I'm wondering if it's possible to make a committee that doesn't include council members. I know that administration tried to set up one in July for council pay, and there was no applicants, but I just have trouble deciding what I should be paid from taxpayers' money or get benefits from taxpayers' money, so.
All right, thank you. Any other questions? Councillor Firth, you want to go forward with your motion? Councillor Sorensen, another question?
I would just support the 50-50 split. Yeah. And I could make that motion, or unless you want to.
Either. All right.
So I'd alternative number. I don't
Number one,
see an
number one.
alternative number one.
I think it's number 1, is it not? The 50-50
I
split.
think a little bit further down in the so in the body of the RFD, I list some alternatives, but alternative number 1 should be a little bit further down on the RFD above the attachment documentation.
So that council approves elected officials' participation in a health and dental benefit plan with an estimated annual premium of $53,160.97, with the premium split 50% elected officials and 50% Town of Tabor.
All right, thank you. Motion on the table. All in favor? Opposed? Right, carried. Thank you. All right, on to item 7.4, interim operating budget. Mr. Tebow.
Again, I'll have Mr. Rob Osmond come forward and speak to the interim operating budget. This is a little different than previous years gone by, so please feel free to ask any questions.
All right, thank you. Rob?
Thank you very much, Council. As we discussed during the capital deliberations last week and during the financial 101 sessions that we conducted with Council this year, the approval of the operating budget will be done a little bit differently. Where in the past, we've prepared a full budget for interim approval at the end of the year and then reworked that budget again in the spring. This year, what we're going to look at is an interim operating budget motion. So the motion essentially allows for the continued spending of regular operating expenses into 2026 as we finalize the 2026 operating budget. So the proposal here is that the interim budget be approved based on the service levels and financial commitments of the 2025 operating budget, and that we would move and other approved expenditures. This approval excludes any service level changes, new programs or initiatives, and one-time purchases. So there's two ways that municipalities do this motion. This way simply says we're going to continue to spend the money on the regular expenses that we have. Any one-time special expenses are not included. That will be discussed in operating, and you can't proceed with them until they're approved in an operating project. There is a second way to do the motion. I believe I listed it in the alternatives, where council would approve a portion of the 2025 operating budget. So for example, 25% of the 2025 operating budget to go forward. The reason I prefer to simply say that we'll carry forward without those one-time purchases and program changes is it ensures that none of those one-time expenses that we might have had budgeted in 25, that those numbers aren't included. So if we just set a fixed percentage, it could get confusing about what's being approved. This means that we're focused on paying wages, keeping the lights on, delivering those services, so that we can continue our operations until such a time that council's completed deliberations on the operating budget. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to help you with that.
All right, thank you. Any questions whatsoever? Oh, good. Councillor Sparks?
If there's no questions, I'm prepared to make the motion.
Very well.
Broke up.
You bet.
Make the motion that council approve an interim operating budget to ensure continuity of municipal services from January 1st, 2026 until council adopts a final 2026 operating budget. The interim approval includes expenditures required to maintain existing approved service levels and financial commitments, as per the 2025 operating budget and any other approved expenditures and excludes 1 to 3 as listed.
All right, thank you. Motion on the table. All in favor? Carry unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you, Rob.
All right, moving on to item 7.5. Financial and capital reports. Mr. Tebow.
I was wondering where you were going. I wasn't going to speak to this one myself. So again, we'll hand this over to Rob. We do have a capital variance report in here, and we try not to do this, but in this instance we did because it's the last meeting of the year. We also have a information for council, which is the state of our capital projects. So these are two separate things. The capital variance is a financially driven, where things were at when invoices were submitted, and the other thing in the information item is where capital projects are in real time. So just to present that distinction. Rob?
Thank you very much. I get so excited about budgets, I forget I have other things on the agenda. So what we have here is our financial update and capital variance reporting. So when we go through, these are essentially an unaudited format of the financial statements. We use this format because it's easy for us to compare as we do quarterly reporting, but it's important to remember that despite the fact that these are in the same format, they are not the same thing. So they are unaudited and they are transactional as we go through the year. So we're just taking the snapshot for council. But it does give you a picture of where we're at as of September 2025. I think we had reviewed the majority of these expenditures as we'd gone through, and I don't think there's any significant highlights in this quarterly report, unless council had some questions about the statements.
Councillor Sorensen.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And I just have a question in regards to our tangible capital assets. They've decreased about 4 million and change. I was just wondering if you could explain that.
Good question. So there are two components to capital assets. So there is the depreciation, which is the amount, the non-financial amount that we depreciate the value of our assets. And we've been recording that monthly. The increase that we get in capital assets typically doesn't happen until we do capitalization at project close at the year end. So during the year, we see the depreciation taking that number down. And depreciation on our assets, I believe, is about $6 million total through the year. So that's why that number is where that's at. And then as we go through the year end, we'll close those capital projects and capitalize all those new assets. And so the net increase will likely be significantly higher. It's just a timing thing as we move through the year end. I also wanted to mention there was a question we had when we reviewed this last time, and it had to do with professional services other and what was in that account. And professional services other is an area where we collect professional services that don't fit into our other categories. But one of the biggest highlights in there are the recycling service fees and a couple of other large contracts where we have outside providers providing us service. So it's a bit of a hodgepodge of things, but I believe I sent him an email to council about it, but because the statements are up again, I thought we'd mention that.
All right, thank you, Rob. Anything else rising? Councillor Sorensen.
Me again. So our year end is what is our year end again?
December 31st.
Okay. So if we're at, so some of our expenditures are over the threshold of what we budgeted for, and this is just September at that time. So then we still have 3 more months for that also. Is that correct?
Yes, so there would be 3 more months coming after this financial update. But not all of our expenses are smooth over those months. So an example would be snow removal costs, where we'll see those significantly in the first and fourth quarters, but not in the second. And so they don't come smoothly throughout the year. So there are likely some numbers where we are at or slightly above budget. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they'll continue at that rate through to the end of the year. But overall, I think what we'll find is there might be some individual accounts, and through the operational budget, we'll be looking at some of those numbers that are performing outside of our projections, to make sure that we get numbers that are closer to our actuals.
Yeah, because there's some that are quite a bit over, and so that's what I'm wondering is, what the difference is, what has changed, is it, do we need to adjust our numbers or not?
Yeah, there is one other category of things, because we do have some projects complete earlier in the year, and we typically try to start making those entries as soon as those projects close. And if we had projects that were on the capital list or pieces of capital projects that we realize we can't capitalize, we move them back to the operating. And we'll move them with their funding. So there'll be net zero effect on the operating budget, but the individual expense lines will look like they've came in over budget. So when we were looking at the 2024 financial statement, we saw that there was a lot of reclassification of capital to operating, which made the expense lines look high compared to their budget. But those expenses came with capital funding, so the net impact was zero. So some of those are probably lines that are just higher than projection, but some of them are probably capital items that or items we thought would be capital that got reclassified to operating.
All right, thank you. Any other questions? Okay. Councilor Whip?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. If there's no other questions, I am prepared to make a motion.
Very well.
I move that council accepts the report on the financial update to September 30th, 2025, and capital variance report to November 30th, 2025 for information.
All right, thank you. Motion on the table. All in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you. All right, thank you, Rob. Moving on to item 7.6, board appointment request, Tabor Safe Haven. Mr. Thibault.
I'll speak to this one directly, council. This is a request that we had come in. This is just up for council's discussion. I don't know that we've had this request come before, but I believe, Mr. Mayor, in our agenda setting meeting that you had indicated that you had participated on this board as must have been a member at large or something in the past. So these requests do have to come to council when we get asked, and I would kind of hand it over, and if you could maybe explain a little bit about what it's about.
Sure, you bet I can do. Yes, and I was part of the initial board way back in the 90s when it started, 1996, I believe. And I spent roughly 20 years on the board all total. Myself and many others to have that come to fruition and have its doors open in 2001 for operational purposes for the domestic violence protecting women and children in need. And it's still very heavily needed today, and is very well used and very high security and very much needed. So I have a huge passion about it, and it certainly wasn't myself that started the project, though I was asked, along with Constable Matt Allen at the time, both of us members of police service at the time, asked to assist, and that's how we kind of got started with that, being part of the board at that time. And it, again, came to fruition and actual usage for that purpose in 2001. So it's been around for some 24 years. And I believe the ask, it came through conversation possibilities, and Michelle, the manager, initially was here to present last year, I believe, was she not? For what Safe Haven's about. And did it come up then at all about that, or not? I'm just trying to remember that.
There was no mention of that
Okay.
at that point in time that administration recalls.
Okay, so it might have been soon after that meeting saying that, but the management has asked to follow through with that possibility. So just to run it by council, whatever anybody's thoughts are, it's, we get these kind of requests occasionally. It was something we haven't been part of before from the council perspective, but certainly open to any comments, questions, concerns council may have. Councillor Antoinette.
Just a quick clarification, like as I was reading through, the letter said that it's a non-voting chair, I guess. So is that, will definitely have some impact, and it'll be good for us to help them out, like give them a voice as well. Will that become a voting, or were you, like, as you were there in the past, were you a voting member? Because you were
Correct.
from council, or were you just at large?
No, I was, well, through the police service initially, but yeah, as a member of the public as well, but yeah, for sure, started off with the police service initially. And I was definitely a voting member throughout. I was the chair there for, I believe, 12 years out of 20. So I spent a fair share in the executive role as well. But yeah, I was always a voting member, so I'm not sure. There must be something to the bylaw. I was a little bit surprised to see that with what was suggested about a non-voting member. But yeah, previous I was always in a voting member capacity. Councillor Sorensen.
I just can't recall if we have an annual contribution or was it a one-time contribution for a position?
I believe when they came and presented last time, it's the first time that we've ever provided a contribution that I'm aware of. Historically, I don't know of another one, so that's why they presented last time, and we did provide them with a contribution. But I don't recall, unless members of council recall doing that in the past. But I don't think we have.
But was it just one time or is it an annual commitment?
Just from my memory, Mr. Tebow, I think we just kind of discussed the agenda setting also with myself and Deputy Mayor Sparks and yourself. I believe it came out that it was for 3 years. Is that accurate? Does that sound right?
You know, I honestly can't remember. I think it did have a term to it. I believe it was 3 years.
I'm not sure, but saying that we had not.
It wasn't perpetual.
We hadn't, and so it was their ask. We did commit to that just a year ago, I think, roughly, right? Yeah, okay, so for a 3-year term, I believe it was. Councillor Sorensen.
Yeah, and just continuing that conversation, if we are providing funds for, a period of time, then I believe it is worthwhile for council to attend their meetings and just to make sure that the money, just to be thoughtful in how the safe haven is being operated.
Yeah, thank you. Any other questions, concerns? Councillor Sparks?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, through to council. That was my only concern is the non-voting status of a member from council who would attend these meetings. I had a little bit of a concern with that. If you can, yes, you can express your opinion, but it'd be nice if you're donating from the town some funds that you may have something a little more clout than just to say something, to have a vote, to be able to vote on things. And I know that Council of the Day has donated money to this organization. It is a very worthwhile organization. But I know council in the past has turned down such requests because it is a provincial initiative that this is involved with, and they rely on provincial funding. And so if a member of council wants to do this, it's gosh, that's awesome. But the status of a member of council being on here, I have a little concern with, that's all.
Yeah, no, fair statement. I think I see where you're coming from, and I also concerned about if any council member is going to be part of this board, a voting status should be a natural fit. So I'm not quite sure I'm keen on that side either, all things considered. And I've personally never been on any board or committee without being able to vote, right? So that seems to be commonplace. Councillor Firth?
Thank you for all the comments so far. For me, I think it depends what our intention is by appointing a member to this board. So if our purpose is collaboration and to then I don't think a voting or a non-voting position is necessarily important. But if it's more like because the town of Tabor is contributing funds and our intention is to ensure that those funds are being spent in a responsible manner, then yes, I would understand why you would want to have a voting position. But so I just think maybe we need to consider why we would be appointing somebody to this board. If it was just for collaboration and community support, then I wouldn't be as worried about it. And it does say that their voting positions are filled. So I'm not familiar with their bylaws necessarily, but the way I interpreted that is that in the future it may be a voting role.
All right, thank you, Mr. Tebow.
I just wanted to offer to council, there isn't this listed in the alternatives, but if council wanted to table this and have administration go away and ask some of those questions, because I do believe it probably lines up with their existing bylaws, which is why they haven't offered that particular, there must be a reason, I guess, and that's what I'm saying. And so if this got tabled till next meeting, administration could go away and find out what that reason is and what the intention was, and just ask the question around a voting member, a non-voting member. So that is an option if council chose.
All right, thank you. Any other questions, comments? Councillor Firth?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, through to administration. I think that would be helpful, Mr. Tebow, to just kind of gauge what the intention is before we make a decision. So with that, I'd be prepared to make a motion to table this item, even though we've discussed it already. So I move we table this item to, well, it just automatically goes to the next meeting, right? Okay, so I move that we table this.
All right, thank you. Motion on the table. All in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you. All right, on to item 7.7, Heartland Training and Support Hub. Mr. Tebow.
Again, I'll try and get my way through this one on my own. This was a request that we have had in the past. We did put the previous motion in the background section of this RFD. When this administration reads that motion, it doesn't appear that it was intended to be perpetual, but it actually has been perpetual from 2016 up until 2023. So when we went through and revisited motions and we didn't get a request in 2023, we did not, or maybe it was 2024. We did not actually contribute, but we had contributed the $500 for many, many years. So I just wanted to make council aware of that. We have contributed in the past. We did not in 2024 because when we read the motion, maybe the council of the day, the understanding was that, but the motion doesn't actually say that. And so that was us just bringing that forward. And the request did come in this year for the $500 amount that council had provided in the past. So totally turn that back over to council and let you decide what you'd like to do with it.
All right, thank you. Just to interpret some of the clarification there, it was interpreted to be an annual thing. That's what we're understanding, right?
Well, that's all that I could.
Yeah.
I could see when I read it. I don't see that it says on an annual basis. So yeah.
So for me, I mean, Councillor Sparks, Deputy Mayor Sparks can also attest to this. I'm sure 2016. That's when we were on council first together. And I don't remember this at all. Maybe you do. Do you? No. So when I read the motion again, the original motion, it looks like it's for that year, and that's it. So how it got interpreted otherwise, I don't know exactly, but total news to me to carry on with it. So I think the option is fairly simplistic in how to deal with it. But other comments and concerns are certainly welcome for discussion. Councillor Sparks.
If there's no other questions, I'm prepared to make a motion that council receives the correspondence from Heartland Training and Support Hub for information purposes.
All right, thank you. Do you have a motion on the table? Do you have a couple of questions? Councillor Weep?
No, I'm good. I was.
Okay. All right, thank you. Councillor Firth?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, I think, well, farm safety is a very noble cause and very important. I think this is a primarily rural initiative, and I don't know that it's necessarily something that the town of Taber should be contributing to. Not that $500 is a huge amount of money, but I just, because need to be responsible for taxpayers' money, I would approve. I would support the motion that Councillor Sparks made to accept it for information.
All right, thank you. Councillor Wiebe?
I agree that I would support it for information, but reading through the numbers, there was 735 youth in Taber, an additional 473 in the MD that did receive training through this. And as an agricultural community, I could see supporting it if council chose to do so.
All right, thank you. Councillor Sorensen?
Thank you, Mayor. I was just wondering through to Mr. Tebow, is this a nonprofit organization?
I actually don't know that answer right offhand.
Because I'm of the opposite opinion of council. Just because you go to school in Taber doesn't mean that you don't live on a rural or on a farm. $500 is fairly economical, and we could be saving an injury. So to me, I would almost support this and its ongoing future funding for it.
All right, thank you. All right, any other questions, comments related to the motion? Rest your charity. All right, thank you. We do have a motion on the table. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you. All right, on to item 7.8, letter of support request, Taber Regional Airport expansion. Mr. Tebow.
Again, I'll speak to this one a little bit. So I believe it was Mayor Prokop and myself that were over at the MD. As of last year, they brought forward this airport committee, and there was a motion put forward by the committee to look for some support from MLA Hunter, given that we're in the middle of a feasibility study right now, and there's going to be something that come out of that that's going to require some funding. And so the purpose was to get this in front of council so that we'd have some kind of a collaborative supportive letter. The MD authored that letter, and the MD will forward that letter. I believe they're presenting this at their meeting tomorrow. They have a meeting tomorrow. And so this was trying to accomplish that, getting some awareness to MLA Hunter regarding the Taber Airport. Given the mayor was at the meeting, perhaps I'll hand it over to you, Mr. Mayor, and you could maybe explain a little bit more.
All right, yeah, thank you. Next was actually my motion. Doesn't matter, I guess, per se, but it just seemed to me that was a necessary next step that hasn't been discussed before. And we're at the stage of basically 2 years, I think, Mr. Tebow, on this committee, correct?
Yep, this would be the second year.
Things really just starting to move along in the last 6 months, I guess, right, basically. So the feasibility study is now done. I believe we're going to see that in January sometime. And so it just seemed to be a very responsible next move to go forward with. Just basically advising our MLA for grant possibilities. And our MLA, Grant Hunter, is generally really good with that sort of thing. So if he's aware of something that fits or becomes a shovel-ready project that they're looking to start yesterday, it fits the mold, I guess, bottom line. And so it seemed very appropriate. And I don't think we had any real dissension about that particular topic. It's just a matter of making sure council is aware and looking to support that going forward. Councillor Antnek.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm just prepared to make a motion.
Sure.
I'd like to make the motion that council endorses the letter of support to MLA Hunter and directs administration to provide council's endorsement to the MD of Taber.
All right, thank you. Motion on the table. Councillor Sorensen, any question?
Well, I was just wondering if there's was any interest in sending it to other MLAs in particular, maybe the infrastructure whatever other department there is that handles actually airports.
Yeah, that's a good point. We didn't discuss that specifically, but yeah, that's certainly a good point as far as possibilities.
Administration can take that away, Councillor Sorensen, to have that discussion. There's nothing precluding that to take place. So
Right.
good observation.
Okay, all right. Okay, we do have a motion on the table. All in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you. On to item 7.9, information for council, Mr. Stevo.
So this is what I talked about a little earlier on. So this is a listing of our capital projects and sort of the state that they're in, the state of completion. So I won't go through the list. You got the list in front of you, but if there were any questions, hopefully we've got people here who could answer those questions around the capital projects. So information item number 1 to council.
Councillor Firth.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just had a question about the simulation training system. It was part of the police department, and it says it was returned to the town of Tabor. It's at the top of page 153.
Of course, you're asked the one question where there isn't someone here to answer that. My name is on it. I'd have to go take away and look at that. I'm not certain why the money was returned. I don't know if they got a grant for something or if they moved to something else, but I can take that away and get back to council by way of email if that's okay.
Okay, all right. Anything else? Got that covered?
Yep, that's good for that. So at number 2, we had a SWOT analysis come forward. This was a request of a member of the police commission who wanted to put this forward. It is just for information, but I didn't know if any of the police commission members that were here that participated wanted to speak to it at all.
All right, thank you, Councillor Sorensen.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And yeah, I just feel that it's important for council to read this. It's kind of and the analysis of us attending the focus group and the summary of what is proposed in their 5-year kind of action plan going forward. And it's just sad to know that their priority is prioritizing the response to mental health and addictions in our community. And I think everywhere, all communities everywhere is facing this struggle. So hopefully we can persevere and help the community out in this manner.
Thank you. Councillor Firth, anything to add your end?
No, I would echo a lot of what Councillor Sorensen said, and yeah, I am glad that it was included. So this will form the basis of the future strategic plan for the Tabor Police Service, and I know that there was a lot of time from council and commission, as well as other members of our community that participated in these sessions. So, and I think that the information gained is very valuable and will help to create some strategic goals moving forward for our police service. So I'm glad that it was included and that it happened.
All right, thank you. And for me, it's also attending that. It was very beneficial. Chief Graham Bella put on a very good session, very good session all the way around, and very informative and very involved by all who attended. That does nothing but help and see where we're going in the future for everything involved that came out of the actual analysis. And very well done overall. Right, Mr. Stevo.
And the last item is the Police Commission highlights, which they've asked to come forward once a month. This is, I think, the second month where we've seen it, so just there for council's information.
All right, thank you. Any other questions arising? All right, no motion required in that regards. All right, moving on to item 7.10, department reports. I'll go through those individuals. If you have any questions, please advise me accordingly. First off, HR department report. Engineering and Public Works reports. Treatment facilities reports. Facility Management Report, Economic Development Report, CAO Report, Planning and Development Report, Fire Department Report, Recreation Department Report, Corporate Service Department Report, and Administrative Services Report. Councillor Firth.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to congratulate the Administrative Services Department on their 2 Marcom Awards, as well as their Hermes Creative Awards. So it was mentioned that they have been awarded a total of 28 awards since 2017. So, yeah, congratulations and well done.
All right, thank you. Absolutely, that's great to hear. Councillor Sorensen.
And just for the Recreation Department, thank you for doing the veterans banners and then the decorations for the Winter Festival. People just don't know how they magically were transformed into that overnight. So a lot of hard work. And just thank you to the Public Works Department in cleaning the snow and cleaning our streets.
All right, thank you so much, you bet. Anything else? All right, no motion required for that either. On to Mayor and Council reports. Councillor Firth, can you start us off?
Certainly. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I attended the Corporate Services Budget 101 orientation session, the Taber Municipal Police Commission meeting. I attended my first meeting as a new member of the Municipal Emergency Management Committee. I attended Planning and Economic Development orientation session, the monthly FCSS meeting. FCSS is proposing a 2% per capita increase for next year, so that's something that should be on council's and administration's radar. I just wanted to mention it. The Veterans Memorial Highway Association's AGM, I attended that virtually. They are also proposing an increase to 20 cents per capita, up from a previous cost of 15 cents per capita to be a member of that organization with a cap of $2,200. I also attended the Fire Department 101 orientation, the special meeting of council, the Taber and District Housing Foundation joint meeting with the MD of Taber, Vauxhall, and Barnwell. And I attended part of the Southeast Area Structure Plan open house as well.
All right, thank you. Councillor Etnock.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Training-wise, I attended Budget 101, Planning and Economic Development 101, Fire Department 101. I attended a MEMC meeting. Then there was a council-funded staff appreciation lunch. And it was a nice opportunity for the administration and staff of the town to come and get a lunch together. And then I also went to the Taber and District Housing joint meeting as well.
All right, thank you, Councillor Sorensen.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And yeah, it's been a busy month of training. We're trying to get smarter. So Budget 101, Police Planning and Economic 101, and the Fire Department 101. Also, I attended the Police Commission, special meeting of council, an MPC meeting where we approved 3 developments. I met with a citizen for just coffee, a committee meeting, traffic committee meeting, and the Taber and District Housing meeting. So, yeah, we were full.
All right, thank you. Deputy Mayor Sparks.
As the rest of the councilors have stated, it's been a very busy time, but a very worthwhile time, very worthwhile. I've been able to, and I count myself lucky, I've had a lot of people, I've talked to a lot of citizens, and it's been well worth it. I've really enjoyed my time with the training we've had and talking to the citizens of the town of Taber, and other than that, I have nothing else to report.
All right, thank you. Councillor Weeb.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I attended all of the meetings I was required to attend and the counselor trainings that were offered. I also attended the Kiwanis Community Concert and the Town of Taber Staff Appreciation.
All right, thank you. And for myself, I did attend the Eagle Spirit Nest Christmas dinner invite, as well as the Calvary Church 10-year anniversary dinner invite, Church's Chicken grand opening, as well as the Chamber of Commerce swearing requirements for 3 members, and attended the Mayors and Reeves monthly meeting in Lethbridge. Also attended the Parkside Manor Christmas dinner invite, as well as the Parkside Manor 80th birthday celebration invite for Mr. Hank Wall. I also attended the Taber District Housing joint meeting and the My City Care Shop of Wonders grand opening event, as well as the Town of Taber Staff Appreciation Lunch. And just this past weekend, I attended Calgary to the January Independence Celebration event in Calgary as well. That would be my report. Any questions whatsoever? Seeing none, no motion required. On to item 7.12, notice of motion. Mr. Thibault.
This one was put on because we actually had a conversation about notice of motion happening, and I don't know, did you bring that with you, Mr. Mayor?
I did not, actually.
We have a copy over here because I thought maybe.
Okay, great, sorry, yeah, I think it's on the desk, actually. But yes, I didn't. Perfect, thank you. So I'm to read that one, correct?
Yeah, if you could read the notice of motion to us. So, again, this is not for discussion or debate today, but it is just putting something out there that puts it on council's radar so that we are ready to have some kind of a
Okay, so
debate.
with this, it goes to the next meeting as per standard format with a notice of motion.
That's
correct?
typically what we would do with it,
Oh,
yes.
thank you, all right. The notice of motion reads, direct administration to draft options to clarify the standards for the direct control district number 4, DC4, that may include but is not limited to basements, garages, and multi-unit developments, and provide options for who may be the decision-making body on all development permit applications within the meadows. All right, that's good. That covered, Mr. Tebow?
It is so. We'll record it as such and
All right.
be prepared to have some discussion next meeting.
Thank you. And this is also our standing item council request location, if there's anything that's coming up in the last week or so. Anybody would like to bring forward? Now is the time. Councilor Sorensen.
Thank you, Mayor and Mr. Tebow. We used to have kind of like a spreadsheet as to, you know, what was outstanding, and then like when it came to council and it was resolved. I was wondering if we could still have that, just so that we can make sure that, you know, items aren't missed.
Yeah, there is no copy of the list because there is nothing on the list at this
Right.
point in time. It's been a little while since we've had one make the list.
Okay.
So should one come forward in that way, we will create a list.
Create a list. Okay, I couldn't remember if everything was completed or not.
We did knock off the list probably in November, the first meeting in November thereabouts. Everything was taken care of. They're not all totally finished yet, but
No,
we have actioned what's on the list or are actioning what was on the list.
perfect. Thank you.
All right. And we have no delegations for open session. Any media inquiries?
Big surprise, there are none.
Yes, consistent. All right. So we do have closed session information. I guess we could start that. We have a delegation coming at 5 o'clock, correct, Mr. Tebow?
I believe we've indicated 5:30 to the delegation.
5:30?
I was trying to see if we had enough time for a meal break before that.
Oh, I see.
took
Okay,
place.
okay. Well, that works out then, if we're all good with that. If I get a motion to move into our meal break and move into closed session upon our return. Councilor Firth, motion on the table, all in favor? Carried unanimously, thank you.